So let's talk about the ETF market. We talk about ETFs a lot on this show, on this platform since we started. So my first question is, with trends like AI and Bitcoin, and the shifting geopolitical landscape, how are the markets being restructured in 2025 and even looking forward to 2026?
Well, I think one of the important things for investors to look at in this year is just how much the market is being moved by themes. You go back to February, you had a huge sell-off because of DeepSeek, which was really a bigger function of artificial intelligence. And the market's trying to understand how valuable is AI and what the value of AI means to the stock market. Now, zoom ahead to April, you had Liberation Day. This was really about the theme of tariffs and geopolitical fragmentation. If you go back to basically the end of World War II through the global financial crisis, all you saw was more and more and more globalization around the world. People moving around the world, goods moving around the world, the internet and finance connecting money and content around the world. And you're starting to see that shift a little bit, more regionalization, more internal production of things through reshoring. So in April, you had this big kind of reinvigoration of geopolitics as a theme. We're increasingly seeing crypto as a theme as people look at changing regulations in the US and changing ways to build portfolios using crypto. So I think the big change for 2025 is a lot of people used to look at the world through sectors, through countries. Increasingly, people have to look at the world through themes to explain what's going on in the markets and try to capture some of the best opportunities.
Yeah, we grew up in an era where people investing in individual equities. That has changed in the recent events over the past, I'd say 3 to 5 years. What have you noticed in terms of ETF purchasing from individual investors?
Huge growth. So, you're absolutely right. If you went back, this isn't that long ago. If you went back like 2 or 3 decades and you wanted to get global exposure, you would pick a stock like, I don't know, like Coca-Cola or something, just because it's a company that sells product all around the world, right? But you have so much concentration risk if you do that. You're buying one company in one segment. If soda sales go down, that's going to be bad for your portfolio, even if you're trying to get kind of global exposure. But what ETFs did was they made it so easy with just one click through a brokerage account to literally get exposure to thousands of companies around the world in all kinds of countries in Europe and Asia and emerging markets. And so that growth has just continued with end investors who are looking to build, frankly, what would have been considered really sophisticated portfolios just a couple of decades ago, but now are just fairly kind of simple multi-ticker portfolios where you can get your US exposure through the S&P 500, your international exposure through a ticker like IXUS, emerging markets exposure, Bitcoin, et cetera. You can really build a super diversified portfolio using ETFs because of the ease of access that they provide investors.
I think we all know AI is here to stay. Crypto is here to stay. Going back to your thematic point, what themes do you think we'll see maybe the next 5 years or into the 2030s that will have an incredible impact on the market that investors tonight should be looking out for?
So I think it's easy to get lost in the day-to-day of all this noise and news around what's going on. If you look, longer term, we just continue to have tremendous conviction around artificial intelligence. So what we say right now is we're really in stage 1 of 3 stages of artificial intelligence. First stage being the build out. You have to build all of this infrastructure around AI to support it. These are data centers. This is power supply. This is semiconductors. This is trillions of dollars being invested to build out this artificial intelligence revolution. It takes years. This isn't just something that happens in the cloud mysteriously. It has physical places where artificial intelligence is happening. So that's where we are today. The next stage will be enterprise adoption. This is when companies and governments around the world are embedding AI into how people work at these companies, the types of products they're building at these companies. That takes time as well. It's not like email just took over the world in one day. It took a few years for people to realize that this is a technology that's useful and you start using it in your everyday life. So that's the second stage. And then the third stage will ultimately be what we call the transformation stage, where AI is basically ubiquitous. It's in everything we do. It's in driverless cars. It's building entire companies, maybe with one person, where it's AI building the products, doing the legal work, doing the finance work, et cetera. All of that is going to take maybe a decade to play out. And so if we look 5 years, 10 years out, we still see a lot of opportunity in artificial intelligence as really one of the biggest tech revolutions we have seen since the invention of the internet.